In this chapter of Maria Valtorta's visions from the poem of the Man God, which I'm going to read, we are sighted in Holy Week. Palm Sunday has just taken place. Our Lord has triumphantly entered into Jerusalem, and there are now a series of days where various events occur, one of which is a fairly regular lengthy period of teaching which Jesus gives to the apostles. And it culminates, of course, in his arrest. This chapter, 590, titled The Monday Before Passover, The Cursed Fig Tree, and the Parable of the Wicked Husbandman. And it's in the 5th volume of the Poem of the Man God. It was given to Maria Valtorta on the 31st of March, 1947. Jesus comes out early from the tent of a Galilean, on the tableland, on the Mount of Olives, where many Galileans gather on the occasion of solemn festivities. The field is all asleep, lit up by the moon that is setting slowly, enveloping tents, trees, and slopes. And the town asleep down there at the bottom in a white, silvery light. Jesus passes resolutely and noiselessly among the tents, and once he is out of the field, he goes down fast along the steep slopes towards Gethsemane. He passes through it and comes out of it. He crosses the little bridge over the Kidron, a silver ribbon singing to the moon. He arrives at the gate watched over by legionaries. This night watch at the closed gates is probably a precautionary measure of the proconsul. The soldiers, 4 in all, are speaking, sitting on large stones placed as seats against the massive wall, and they are warming themselves at a little fire of dry twigs that casts a reddish light on the shining loricas and stern helmets, under which appear faces so different in their italic features from those of the Hebrews. "Who is there?" asks the first one, who sees Jesus' tall figure appear from behind the corner of a little house near the gate, as he grasps a sharp-pointed spear that was leaning against the nearby wall, and he stands in the prescribed attitude, imitated by the others. And without giving Jesus time to reply, he says, "No one is allowed to come in. Don't you know that this is the end of the second watch? I'm Jesus of Nazareth. My mother is in town. I am going to her." "Oh, the man who brought back from the dead the man of Bethany. By Jove, I shall see him at last." And he approaches him, looking at him curiously, walking around him as if he wished to make sure that it is not something unreal, something strange, but a man like everybody else. And he says so. "Oh my goodness, he is as handsome as Apollo, but he is made exactly like us. And he has neither baton nor cap, nor any sign of his power." He is perplexed. Jesus looks at him patiently, smiling gently. The others, who are not so curious, they have probably already seen Jesus on other occasions, say, "It would have been a good thing if he'd been here halfway through the first watch, when the beautiful girl who died this morning was taken to her sepulchre. We would have seen her rise." Jesus kindly repeats, "May I go to my mother?" The 4 soldiers rouse up. The senior says, "Actually, according to instructions, we should not let anybody pass. But you would pass just the same. He who forces the doors of Hades can easily force the gates of a closed town. And you are not a man who will provoke rebellions. So the prohibition does not apply to you. Try not to be seen by the patrol in the town. Open the gate, Marcus Gratus. And you, go in noiselessly. We are soldiers, and we must obey. Be not afraid. Your kindness will not become a punishment for you. One of the legionaries cautiously opens the wicket door within the huge main door and says, "Be quick. The second watch ends shortly, and we shall be replaced by other guards. Peace be with you. We are warriors. The peace I give lasts also in wartime, because it is the peace of the soul." And Jesus enters the dark arch opened in the thick wall. He passes silently before the guard room, through the door of which comes the flickering light of an oil lamp, a common lamp, hanging from a hook of the low ceiling, and which allows one to see the bodies of soldiers sleeping on mats laid on the floor, all wrapped in their mantles, with their weapons beside them,